in the heart of the Galactic Union's command center, Gorak felt the weight of responsibility settle upon his shoulders like a heavy cloak. The chamber was abuzz with frantic discussions and strategic assessments, the very air charged with tension. Representatives from different species convened, their diverse forms and colors blending into a kaleidoscope of existence. Each member of the council was aware that the choices they made in the coming days could alter the course of history. Gorak's three eyes flickered with unease as he replayed the recent events in his mind. The humans had once again proven their ability to rise from the brink of destruction, much to the disbelief of the Union. He could almost hear the voices of his fellow council members echoing in his thoughts, their concerns swirling around the topic of humanity like a tempest. Their skepticism was palpable, and Gorak understood their fear. Humans were unpredictable, a force that defied the logic of the cosmos. "I urge caution," he interjected into the ongoing debate. "We must approach this situation with understanding, not with the intent to obliterate. Humanity has shown resilience, and this time, they may not take our actions lightly." An elder named Yaler, known for his combative demeanor, shot back, "Understanding? They have made it clear they are a threat. We cannot allow them to challenge the Union's authority. Look at their advancements. If we do not act decisively, we risk being overrun." Gorak felt his heart race as he weighed the implications of Yaler's words. The last encounter with humanity had left scars on the Union, and the memory of their fierce resistance lingered in the minds of those who had witnessed it. But what if we approached them with an offer of diplomacy instead? Gorak proposed, feeling the eyes of the council upon him. What if we extend our hand in peace rather than a weapon? The room fell silent, the council members exchanging wary glances. They were not accustomed to considering diplomacy as a viable option with humanity. Gorak understood the risks, but believed that the time had come for a different approach. It was no longer a matter of eradicating a pest. Humanity was evolving, and the Union needed to evolve with it. "I believe we can learn from them, just as they can learn from us," he continued. "Imagine a future where our two species coexist, exchanging knowledge and culture." The discussions raged on for hours, with Gorak standing firm in his belief that the Union could find common ground with humanity. Eventually, a vote was called, and the council members deliberated fiercely. As the results were tallied, Gorak's heart raced with anticipation. The council had finally agreed to send a diplomatic envoy to Earth, hoping to engage the humans in a dialogue. It was a small victory, but it was a step toward understanding. Meanwhile, on the surface of Earth, humanity was in turmoil. General Davis of the Terran Defense Corps was busy coordinating efforts to recover from the recent attack. The remnants of cities smoldered in the aftermath, and the people were struggling to regroup and rebuild. Davis had witnessed the strength and determination of his fellow humans during the conflict, and he felt a renewed sense of purpose as he surveyed the damage. "Gather all available resources," he ordered his officers, his voice steady despite the chaos. "We need to mobilize quickly. If the Galactic Union thinks we are vulnerable, they will strike again. We cannot allow that to happen." His officers nodded, determination etched on their faces. They had seen what the Union was capable of and knew that they needed to be ready for whatever came next. In the following days, Davis worked tirelessly to fortify Earth's defenses, gathering the best minds to devise new strategies. He convened meetings with scientists, engineers, and military leaders, fostering a spirit of collaboration that brought the best of humanity's ingenuity to the forefront. "We must develop our technology further," one scientist suggested during a tense meeting. "If we can salvage more alien technology from the remnants of their ships, we can turn it against them. We have to adapt and innovate if we want to survive." Davis nodded, the idea resonating with him. We need to think beyond mere survival. If we are going to challenge the Galactic Union, we have to outsmart them. We need a plan that combines our strength with their technology. As the discussions continued, a sense of camaraderie blossomed among the humans. They shared stories of resilience, drawing strength from one another's experiences. Each setback became a lesson, and each victory, however small, ignited a fire within them. Davis watched as hope flickered in their eyes, and he knew that they were no longer merely fighting for survival, they were fighting for their place in the galaxy. Back in the Galactic Union, Gorak prepared for the diplomatic mission with a sense of trepidation. He had spent countless hours studying humanity's history, their triumphs and failures. He knew that understanding them would require more than just knowledge, it would require empathy. He was acutely aware that the council members who supported his initiative were in the minority, and any misstep could lead to disaster. As Gorak's ship approached Earth, he gazed out at the vibrant blue planet, a stark contrast to the cold expanse of space. The sight filled him with a mix of admiration and concern. Humanity was a species born of conflict, yet they thrived in adversity. He understood now that their strength lay in their ability to adapt and overcome challenges that would cripple other civilizations. Upon landing, Gorak was greeted by a contingent of humans led by General Davis. The atmosphere was tense as they exchanged glances, each studying the other. Gorak sensed the skepticism in their posture, the way their hands hovered over weapons, ready to defend their territory at a moment's notice. "Welcome, Gorak of the Galactic Union," Davis said, his voice firm but guarded. "We are prepared to hear what you have to say, but know that we will not tolerate any threats." Gorak took a moment to gather his thoughts, feeling the weight of history pressing down on him. "General Davis, I come in peace," he began, carefully choosing his words. "We have witnessed your resilience, your ability to adapt, and I believe it is time for us to put aside our differences. The cycle of destruction must end. Together, we can forge a new path." Davis regarded him with skepticism. "And what assurance do we have that this isn't just another ploy to weaken us? You've come to our world with weapons before, and we will not allow ourselves to be blindsided again." "Understandable," Gorak replied, feeling a sense of urgency. "But if we continue this cycle of violence, both our species will suffer. I propose a mutual exchange of knowledge. Let us share what we have learned from our respective experiences. Imagine the possibilities, advancements in technology, medicine, and culture." The tension in the air was palpable, but Davis found himself intrigued. "What exactly do you propose? How do we know this won't lead to further exploitation?" Gorak took a deep breath, realizing that trust would take time to build. "We can create a council composed of representatives from both species. This council will oversee our interactions, ensuring that both sides benefit. We can share our technological advancements, our scientific discoveries, and work together to create a more peaceful galaxy." Davis exchanged glances with his officers, weighing the risks and potential benefits. "It's a bold proposal," he admitted. "But how can we be sure your council will truly represent our interests?" Gorak sensed the opportunity slipping away. "I understand your hesitation, General. Allow me to assure you that I will advocate for your people. I believe in the potential for collaboration, and I am willing to work tirelessly to ensure that your voices are heard." As they continued their discussions, the two sides slowly began to explore the complexities of their respective cultures. Gorak shared insights into the Galactic Union's structure, explaining how it operated and the values that guided its decisions. In turn, Davis spoke passionately about humanity's history, their struggles, and their triumphs. Days turned into weeks as the negotiations progressed, each meeting revealing more about their shared experiences and aspirations. Gorak was struck by the depth of human emotion, fear, hope, and determination woven into every conversation. He found himself admiring their spirit, their unwavering resolve to overcome challenges. Meanwhile, Gorak began to sense a shift in the atmosphere. The humans were beginning to see him not just as a representative of a powerful union, but as a potential ally. Slowly, the barriers between them started to dissolve. Davis found himself increasingly drawn to the idea of collaboration. He could envision a future where humanity thrived alongside the Galactic Union, leveraging their strengths to navigate the complexities of the universe. However, not everyone shared this vision. As the discussions continued, dissent brewed among the council members back in the Galactic Union. Yaler, who had vehemently opposed Gorak's diplomatic approach, rallied those who shared his views. "We cannot afford to show weakness," he argued in council meetings. "Humanity has proven time and again that they cannot be trusted. Our mission should be to maintain control, not to engage with them on their terms." Gorak found himself increasingly at odds with the council, caught between his commitment to diplomacy and the rising tensions within the Union. He knew that the risk of war loomed over their efforts, threatening to derail the fragile progress that had been made. The weight of his convictions pressed heavily on him, and he understood that the stakes were higher than ever. One fateful day, as Gorak prepared for another meeting with Davis, a warning signal blared throughout the Galactic Union's command center. He felt a chill run down his spine as he recognized the significance of the alert. "What is happening?" he demanded, urgency flooding his voice. "Sir, we have detected an unauthorized fleet entering the vicinity of Earth," one of the officers reported, panic evident in their tone. "It appears to be a splinter group from the Union, intent on launching an attack." Gorak's heart sank. They cannot be allowed to proceed. If they attack now, all our efforts will be in vain. He rushed to the communications console, urgently contacting Davis. "General, we have a situation. A faction within the Galactic Union is preparing to strike. You must prepare your defenses immediately." Davis's expression hardened as he processed the information. "We won't let them catch us off guard," he replied, determination flooding his voice. "We've come too far to allow this to end in violence." As the two leaders scrambled to thwart the impending attack, Gorak's mind raced with potential strategies. He knew that the only way to avert disaster was through unity, and he had to convince both the Union and humanity of that truth. "We need to work together," Gorak urged Davis. "If we can intercept their fleet and show them our combined strength, we may be able to sway their allegiance back to the ideals of the Union." Davis nodded, rallying his forces. The humans mobilized quickly, working alongside Gorak's team to prepare a defensive strategy that would showcase their collaboration. As the clock ticked down, they orchestrated their plan with precision, positioning themselves in anticipation of the oncoming assault. When the Splinter faction's fleet emerged, Gorak felt a surge of adrenaline. The sight of warships brimming with weapons and hostility sent a jolt of fear through him. This was the moment that would define the future of their negotiations, and he couldn't allow it to end in violence. "Ready the defenses," Davis commanded, his voice cutting through the tension. The humans readied their makeshift weapons, bolstered by the technology they had scavenged. As the two fleets faced off, Gorak and Davis stood side by side, united against a common enemy. In the heat of battle, the unexpected occurred. The Splinter faction launched their attack with reckless abandon, but in the chaos, they were met with fierce resistance from both the humans and the Galactic Union forces. As the initial barrage of energy blasts lit up the sky, Gorak realized that they were not just fighting for their survival, they were fighting for the future they had begun to forge together. "Keep pushing forward," Gorak shouted, feeling the exhilaration of combat coursing through him. The combined forces fought valiantly, each side complementing the other's strengths. It became clear that this collaboration was more powerful than any had anticipated. As the battle raged on, Gorak caught sight of Yaler's flagship, which had been leading the charge against Earth. Realizing that their victory depended on neutralizing Yaler's command, Gorak made a split-second decision. "We must take out their leader," he shouted, rallying a small group of humans and Union soldiers to follow him. Together, they maneuvered their ships through the chaos, dodging fire and debris as they closed in on Yaler's vessel. The tension was palpable as they approached, and Gorak felt a surge of determination. This was not just a fight against an enemy, it was a fight for the future of both species. "Prepare to board," Gorak commanded as they closed the distance. The plan was risky, but they had to disrupt Yaler's command if they had any hope of averting disaster. The moment their ships connected, Gorak and his team surged forward, breaching the hull and entering the flagship. Inside, chaos reigned. Yaler's crew scrambled to defend their ship as Gorak and his team fought their way through the corridors. Gorak felt adrenaline coursing through his veins as they finally confronted Yaler in the command chamber. "Gorak!" Yaler growled, his eyes blazing with anger. "You dare betray the Union?" "I do not betray the Union, Yaler," Gorak replied, his voice steady. "I fight for its future. This attack is madness, and you will lead us to ruin if you do not stop now." Yaler's expression darkened as he gestured for his crew to attack. But before they could make a move, Davis and his team burst into the chamber, ready to back Gorak up. "Stand down," Davis ordered, his voice resolute. "We have no desire for further bloodshed. Your faction has already caused enough destruction." Gorak felt a sense of unity wash over him as he stood alongside Davis. "If we do not end this now, we will all face the consequences. Together, we are stronger than we ever could be apart." Yaler hesitated, the conflict within him evident. He had witnessed the resilience of humanity firsthand, and for a moment, doubt crept into his heart. "What do you propose?" he asked, his voice low. "Join us," Gorak urged. "Let us work together to create a better future for both our species. The Galactic Union cannot thrive on fear and destruction. It must embrace collaboration and understanding." As the tension in the room thickened, the other members of Yaler's crew exchanged uncertain glances. The message resonated within them, and the tide began to turn. Yaler, realizing that his path led to isolation, finally relented. "Very well," he said, his voice heavy with resignation. "But if we are to unite, it must be under the principles of the Union. No more destruction, only cooperation." With Yaler's surrender, the battle outside began to subside. The remaining ships of the Splinter faction hesitated, unsure of their next move. As Gorak and Davis coordinated with the Galactic Union forces, a message was sent to the Splinter fleet, urging them to stand down. The tide of battle shifted, and one by one, they began to retreat. In the aftermath of the conflict, Gorak felt a mixture of relief and hope. They had averted disaster, but the road ahead would not be easy. It would take time to rebuild trust, and they would need to work diligently to ensure that the mistakes of the past were not repeated. As the leaders of both factions convened to discuss the next steps, Gorak was struck by the potential for a new beginning. The council was now a true representation of both species, working together to address the challenges they faced. Davis and Gorak forged a strong bond, their mutual respect growing with each passing day. "We have a lot of work ahead of us," Davis said, his voice steady. "But together, we can ensure that both our worlds thrive." Gorak nodded, his heart swelling with hope. "We are embarking on a new chapter, one where our two species can learn from each other, grow stronger together, and build a future that defies the expectations of our past. With each meeting, they laid the groundwork for a collaborative future. They exchanged knowledge and resources, creating a foundation for scientific advancements that would benefit both worlds. The Galactic Union learned from humanity's resourcefulness, and humanity discovered new avenues for growth through the Union's advanced technology. As the years passed, Earth transformed. Once a planet struggling to recover from devastation, it emerged as a beacon of progress and cooperation. New cities rose, infused with advanced technology and sustainable practices, showcasing the best of both worlds. Gorak found himself at the forefront of this new alliance, often visiting Earth to oversee the integration of their initiatives. He marveled at the resilience of humanity, their determination to rebuild and thrive despite the odds stacked against them. Each visit left him inspired, and he began to view humans not just as a species, but as partners in a shared journey through the cosmos. During one of his visits, Gorak and Davis stood atop a high-rise building overlooking a vibrant city, the skyline illuminated by the soft glow of lights. "We've come a long way," Davis remarked, a smile breaking through his usually serious demeanor. "I never thought I'd see a day where we could stand here together, celebrating our achievements." Gorak nodded, feeling the warmth of camaraderie envelop them. It is a testament to what can be achieved through understanding and collaboration. Together, we have defied the cycle of destruction that once defined our history. As they spoke, Gorak felt a sense of hope swelling within him. He knew that the journey ahead would not be without challenges. There would be obstacles to navigate, skeptics to convince, and unforeseen threats lurking in the shadows. But he was confident that together, they could face whatever the universe threw their way. As they continued their discussions, a new urgency gripped Gorak. He sensed that the peace they had forged was fragile, and there were factions within the Galactic Union that still viewed humanity as a threat. He would have to work tirelessly to ensure that their alliance remained strong, standing against any who sought to sow discord. Days turned into weeks, and Gorak's resolve only strengthened. He delved deeper into the intricacies of the Union's politics, working diligently to sway the opinions of those who still held onto outdated beliefs. He organized forums and gatherings, inviting humans to share their stories and experiences, humanizing the once misunderstood species in the eyes of the Union's members. Davis, too, became a key figure in this effort, sharing the stories of resilience and innovation that characterized humanity. They both recognized the importance of fostering understanding and empathy, building bridges where walls once stood. As time passed, their alliance grew stronger, and Gorak felt a profound sense of fulfillment. He had embarked on this journey seeking to bridge the divide between two species, and he had witnessed the power of cooperation firsthand. Yet, he knew that the path ahead remained uncertain, and he remained vigilant, ready to protect the fragile peace they had forged. As the Galactic Union and humanity moved forward, Gorak's heart brimmed with hope. Together, they would chart a course for the future, one where cooperation triumphed over conflict. The galaxy was vast, and while challenges would arise, the bond they had formed would serve as a beacon of possibility, a reminder that understanding and collaboration could illuminate even the darkest corners of existence. In the years to come, Gorak and Davis would become legends in their own right, their stories woven into the tapestry of history. They would face trials and tribulations, but their shared vision for a brighter future would guide them through. Together, they would navigate the complexities of the cosmos, forging a legacy that transcended the bounds of their species. And as Gorak gazed up at the stars, he couldn't help but feel that their journey had only just begun. The universe held infinite possibilities, and he was ready to embrace whatever lay ahead.